Hi guys, RIB back. Connection series. Today is connection with your significant other. Connection with your significant other. Now, for those of you who don't know, I've been a relationship coach for many, many years, right? And I'm so blessed because in a previous relationship of mine, I had the same pattern repeating, right? This pattern of getting to know a girl, getting really deep and close and quick and fast, and then suddenly, there came a change, and I began to see the things that I didn't like, the things that put me off about it, and then I would run away, right? I'd be a coward, actually. I'd run away, right? Using me as an excuse, I would run away. But this was my pattern. And over this time, I got to interact with different relationship experts, coaches. I studied it deeply because I was really interested, because I got to a stage where I was like, well, why does this keep on happening to me? And I realized that the only common denominator was me, right? It wasn't my partner, it wasn't that girl or this one, it was me. It was all the time, it was me. Once I realized that, I took it on my own shoulders to really find out what was going on. And there are three things that I want to share with you today that transformed my life, transformed the way that I saw significant relationships, and have transformed the lives of many, many, many people that I've coached in relationship over the years. Really, really powerful. So there's three stages of relationship, right? Three stages. The first stage is honeymoon. Now this one we can all relate to. Honeymoon is like this, everything is up. I met her, I met him, stars align, we get along, the conversations are amazing, the sex is amazing, right? We are amazing together. People tell us how amazing we are together, right? I love the way he picks his nose, it's so cute. The way he picks his ear, it's so cute. I love this guy or this girl, they're my soulmate. Who can relate to this one, right? Put the hands up, we all can, right? It's that first stage of relationship that we just love, and it's just so infectious, and we just want to keep on repeating it. Right? Keep on repeating it. Good. But then this makes way to step number two. Now, step number two, or stage number two, is what we call mud. M-U-D. Mud. Now, mud is where you get it, all your shit comes to the surface. I did it, the S-H-I-T, it all comes to the surface, right? So now all the things that you really loved about this person, the way they picked their nose, the way they interacted, the way that they picked their ear, you now find incredibly annoying. Incredibly annoying, right? And it's just like when you have kids, your kids know which buttons to push, right? It's like they know what buttons to push, and maybe a little power struggle starts to happen, a bit of competition starts to happen. The things that you loved about them, or you thought you did in the beginning, now you begin to not love. Actually, you begin to go the opposite way, right? I can see a few people going that sounds like me, right? So what happens here with mud is that it is your undigested or unresolved parts of yourself which are being reflected to you by your partner. All right, I'll say that again. So it is the unresolved parts of you which are being reflected back to you by your partner, and it scares the living daylights out of you. And most of the time, people break up in mud. They break up because they wrongly identify that their partner is the source of their problems and their anguish, not realizing that they're just mirroring back to them their own or your own or my own challenges, right? So let me give you an example. So I grew up children's homes in London, 6 months to the age of 18. Attachment disorder, Judy Housen, if you're watching, thanks for that one. Attachment disorder is what I was suffering from. This was the understanding that I'm born alone, I am alone, I'll die alone. Very powerful. It got me through the children's home. It got me to be strong and powerful and all the rest of that. But in relationship, it meant that I would attach really quickly. And then when push came to shove, when it's time for me to be, vulnerable and open, empathetic, right? I wasn't able to get there because this hard side of me that got me through the tough times wasn't able to let go. And I was afraid that I would be left. I was afraid that I'll be deserted. I was afraid that I'll be stranded, right? So what did I do? I would push them away by not opening up, by not being vulnerable. Effectively, I was pushing them away. Now, these are my unresolved parts of me, right? That thing about trust, self-love, understanding, right? Self-understanding. Because when you learn to love yourself and to accept yourself, then you can accept anybody. So in my partners, I was looking for perfection. I was out going up with models who put their hand up, right? Nothing wrong with models, but I was out there because I wanted my partner to be perfect. Why? Because I had deep-seated deep-seated, what do I call it? Not fears, but deep-seated ideas about me not being beautiful, right? So I grew up, children's homes, I grew up with Caucasian aspects, Caucasian views of what beauty was, which I did not fit into, right? So I had a problem with how I looked. Even though I ended up modeling with Naomi Campbell, the supermodels, I was in Milan, I worked with the top models in the world, right? I was still not confident and comfortable about how I looked. So I projected that onto my partner. So they had to be perfect. So when they weren't perfect, I'll take that to task and say, well, you know what? It's time for me to move on, right? So again, I'll give you an example, right? So mud is all about this. It's about the false projector. It's about you not realizing that this is an incredible opportunity for you to really get to know yourself on a much deeper, powerful level, and for you to really start to resolve these unresolved parts of yourself. But most of the time, what do? We run to the next relationship and we go through the same thing again, don't we? That's what I did. 3 relationships in a row. That's what I did. So I started to realize that the challenge wasn't them, it was me, right? So first one, okay, is honeymoon period. Second one, that honeymoon period can last for 2 weeks, 6 months, 6 years. Depends how often you see each other. And then the second one is mud, where all your unresolved stuff comes to the surface. Now the third one is called unconditional love. Now unconditional love is a stage where, whether you're together or not, you stop wanting to change your partner. You stop wanting to manipulate, disguised as I'm trying to help you become a better person. How many of us have done that one? I have. Guilty as charged. It's just manipulation. At the end of the day, you manipulating your partner is not the way this works, right? So unconditional love is accepting your partner the way that they are without trying to change them, without the need to want to change them. Because you accept them exactly as they are. How? Because you accept yourself exactly as you are. And that's the key to unconditional love. Now, whether you're together or not, you want the very best for them, right? And how you get there is through self-love. How you get there is through self-acceptance, right? So these are very quickly the 3 stages. I can go into a lot more detail. And by the way, if you want any coaching on this, just send me a message and I'll be happy to discuss this with you. But it's understanding those 3 aspects, right? Honeymoon period, mud, and unconditional love is the key to understanding your significant other. Other aspects, obviously, men and women are very different. You know, men retract to their cave to solve their problems. Women want to talk about it. There are other aspects, you know, which do make us different, for sure. But that's not for this one. I just wanted to highlight those 3 points, and you'll probably see that they resonate because I've coached so many couples, hundreds, and it's always turned out to be true. All right. So I will see you on the next one. This one is about connection to your significant other. All right. Bye for now.